Hey guys, it's the Bat back again with another video. Happy belated Father's Day to all you fathers out there. As always, I'm a day late and a dollar short when it comes to things. Been really busy as usual, and I went to a Father's Day sale at one of my local comic book shops, and got some other books that I picked up at another comic book shop. They had comics, the regular thing in the dollar bin, dollar a piece or 15 for $10. Got a few good books, and I got some books that I paid not too much money for, but they wasn't in the dollar bin, in the dollar bin aisle or boxes or whatever. So, without further ado, let's get started. This is Robin, number one, the third print. Wish it was the second, but it's the third print that I had picked up. I always like this Bolland cover, Brian Bolland cover. He's an extremely talented artist, and he doesn't. I don't think he gets the recognition that he should. His Judge Dredd is excellent. That's years ago, but just love this cover. This was when Robin first got this costume, and that was designed by Neal Adams, if I'm not wrong. But I think Neal Adams did design this costume. I think this is Tim Drake Robin too. Found a bunch of newsstands. This is Neal Adams' Megalith, the Ultimate Man, or you can call it Revengers, whichever one. I always called it Megalith when I saw it when it first came out. I remember when these came out back in the day, and at that time I was living on the Eastern Shore, and they didn't have comic book shops on the Eastern Shore, but our school, for some reason, I went to the museum in Baltimore, one of the museums in Baltimore, and we took a trip down at the Inner Harbor. And at that time, before Steve Geppi became Big Steve Geppi, he had a comic book shop down in the Inner Harbor. And that's where I got my first taste of other types of comic books. I used to get my comic books at the local convenience store, whatever you want to call it, because I came from an area that was very let me see, farmland. I'm an old country boy, and luckily there were a few convenience stores in the area, and the owner of one in particular, when I was a kid, he must have been a super comic book fan because he had this wall of comics. We would always go to that store at least once a month, and I would just be amazed at how many comic books he had on this wall. And I'm getting off base, but just brings back a lot of memories when I see certain key books, a spark of memory, and remind me of why I love comics. Because as of late, with what's going on now, and I just don't have the interest for comics like I used to. And what's so funny? While I'm doing this, I can show books. I used to be when I first started out. I started out with Harvey Comics with Richie Rich and all of them. That's when I was a young little tyke. Then I branched into DC. And at the time, I wasn't really into Marvel Comics because Marvel Comics were more like episodial comics. For a young kid, I wasn't into having to read 2 or 3 comics just to get one story. And at the time, back in the day, when DC was doing books, all their books, their stories were self-contained. It would start in one book and end in one book. You didn't have part 2 in the next issue, this, that, and the third. And give you some kind of reference of the time period when I was buying DC at the time, most of the covers were being done. Dang, now I can't get it. Oh boy, old age is not fun. But my biggest book that I bought and was latched onto was Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, which I've said a couple times before in other videos. And it was Dave Cockrum was the artist at the time. And when he left, Mike Grell picked up the mantle, and I was in love. You know, Mike Grell had a fresh art style, kind of reminiscent of Neil Adams in a way, and it just popped. It popped, and I was really hooked on a lot of the DC characters and stuff. It wasn't until later on when I got into middle school and starting high school, I started shifting to Marvel and DC, more into Marvel because I was into more the episodial type of storyline. But let's get back to this. This newsstand is Extreme X-Men. I don't know, annual 2001. Okay, I'm trying to look for a number, but it's annual 2001. Entire book is sideways. And I just had to grab it. Superman, Reign of the Superman, number 82. I picked that up. Extreme X-Men, number 800. Now that Gambit is like the hottest thing going. I mean, his performance in X-Men 97 was it was really cool how he went out. And he has that type of flair to him. His design and the way they brung him up through the years turned out to be a real mainstay type of character. Now, if they can only get him in the movies correctly. Then again, they did, what was that movie? The X-Men movie? Or was it Wolverine? I can't remember, but they did have the guy, I can't remember his name. He did play Gambit. He played a pretty good Gambit for what he did. I liked him. Channing Tatum, I don't know. Channing Tatum is a good actor, but he doesn't look like Gambit. He's got this, I don't know, this like deadpan look to me. I just can't see him as Gambit. But then again, back in the day when I was a kid, I couldn't see Michael Keaton as Batman. I remember. I wasn't vocal like, nah, he can't be Batman. I was more or less like, I don't know, wait and see. And he pulled it off. So, maybe Channing can do it. I don't know. Power Pack, number 46, with the Punisher and Dakota North appearing in it. Funeral for a Friend, Justice League, number 70, newsstand. It's a shame they didn't do more with this character. His origin was kind of convoluted anyway, but I just like the aesthetics of him. He had a cool costume. He just was cool looking. They could have done so much with him. Found another Darker Image newsstand, number 1. Lately, I've been finding these newsstands for Darker Image, which is not uncommon because they were printed out the wazoo. Inhumans, number 1. I picked that one up. Iron and the Maiden, number 1. And this was odd. I picked the best. Well, I don't know if I picked the best one up out of that bunch or not. But the comic book box down in the dollar bin. This book, they had like 20 copies of this one book. And I wanted, because I just like the cover of Superman knocking Bizarro on his keister. But I mean, I couldn't believe how many copies of this book was down in the dollar bin. Apparently, somebody or a store had them and never really sold them, and the comic book shop got a hold of them and just was like, "Well, what the heck? Throw them down in the dollar bin." I should have took another one, but I don't think it's worth anything anyway. This was just a cover by, like I said, Gambit is like the hot thing now. Extreme X-Men number 43. I always try to pick up West Coast Avengers. Try to complete this line. This is issue number 4. And number 1. Picked up another copy of number 1. Secret Wars number 9. This is when Miles Morales enters the 616 universe. Him and the Maker, I think. Definitely, I always, if I see these, I grab them. I am really into all the superhero books that are cartoon related. I think it's a market that's pretty much overlooked. A lot of people don't really pay attention to them, and they're hard to find. They don't show up in dollar bins hardly. They don't show up in back issue bins because when they were initially put out, they were in a kitty aisle, or just people wasn't into them like that because they considered them childlike, child type books. But I've been slowly but surely, whenever I see them, I grab them. That's Batman Gotham Adventures number 26. Number 36 was Superman World's Finest. Batman Gotham Adventures number 40. Mr. Freeze number 41. Number 44, Two-Face. I definitely pick these up when I see them. I love trying to get a full set of Star comics. This is another line of kids comics that pretty much nobody really paid no attention to. I definitely want to try to get the Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Now, I don't know how far or how many issues it ran for, but when I saw this, I definitely had to have it. IDW's Transformers, issue number 0. Danger Girl, Back in Black, issue number 1. Definitely wanted that. Danger Girl Renegade. This is the retail incentive cover for number 1, black and white sketch. I don't know why they call it black and white sketch, because it's done in ink. I don't know. I'll leave it alone. And Danger Girl 20 Years. This is a pretty thick book. And I never saw it on the stands, but I definitely had to have it. And I don't know why, but I picked these up. Well, I do know why. Adam Hughes, but I already have a couple copies of it, but I still picked up JSA number 2, Adam Hughes, and JSA Classified, I'm sorry, 2 and issue number 1. And that was from the comic book shop. Now, these were books I picked up on Father's Day. They had a pretty good sale, but you know, normally if they saying books are 50 cents a piece, a long box for $75 or something like that, you know you're not going to find no New Mutants 98 or anything like that. Now, I mean, but you might get lucky, but no. But I did pick up some pretty good books, some newsstands. X-Force number 22. Superman Annual number 4, newsstand, with a cover art by Joe Quesada. X-Force Annual number 3, newsstand. Cable, number 72, newsstand. Generation X, number 48. Generation X, number 52. And it has the appearance of Peter Porker, and I don't know what Dr. Octopus, I don't know what they called him in that iteration of Doctor Doom. I mean, I said Dr. Octopus, Doctor Doom. Thunderstrike, number 4. Excalibur, number 107. Superman, number 115. Green Lantern, New Guardians, number 0 in the newsstand. Supreme, God of Thunder, number 9, newsstand. Codename Strike Force, number 2. And that also was a newsstand. Definitely pick this up because Doom, he's another character that seems to be pretty popular now. This was a what if Doom became the Sorcerer Supreme, issue number 52. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Body Doubles, number 1. Common Ground, number 1, with a J. Scott Campbell cover. Venom, Lethal Protector. That was more of a cover by. Kind of remind me of the Steranko type of art from back in the day. World Tree. This is issue number 1. This was Era Recall issue because it was too dark. Picked up 2 more copies of that. They were in the 50-cent bin. And they had quite a few of them. And also I don't know if it's the second or the third print. Issue number 1. The Free Comic Book Day, Captain America, Steve Rogers, when Cap, Trader Cap. Rogue One, I always pick that up if I see it, issue number 1. I think that's going to be a sleeper book, pretty good book. And I pick these up all the time. I loved, it was a 2 episode cartoon network that happened on one Saturday. And I fell in love with them. I mean, for the most part, it was a good cartoon. I think it was Steven Spielberg cartoon. And they never did anything else with it. I really dug it. And the comic book, I don't know how many issues it ran. I don't think I have the complete run, incidentally. But I'm going to try to get them all together. But when I see them, and they're in somewhat, this one's not in the best of shape. But I just got it anyway, more so for reminiscing on it. This interested me. Weasel Guy and Witchblade number 1. Well, actually, One Shot. I don't know. I know Witchblade. Don't know nothing about Weasel Guy and the other girl in the background, but I just like the cover. It's just a cool cover. And finally, I've never heard of this television show, First Wave, but it has a photo cover of one of the stars, and I don't even know who she is. Shoot me. I don't know. And it said based on the hit, it was on Sci-Fi. I never had Sci-Fi. I don't know how long this ran or how popular it was. I just wanted it. I like getting certain photo covers. I will get them. And basically that's basically it for Father's Day and for the cheap bin books that I've been picking up. I'll pick up my regular standard type of books, but I may start showing them again. I don't know. It seems like everybody's showing them. I definitely did pick up this week the Uncle Scrooge Infinite Dime. Man, some beautiful covers on there. You got the Scotty Young, the regular cover, the Alex Ross cover is super hitting. Adi Granov, another super hitting cover. Frank Miller got a cover. It's okay, you know. I'm not giving him any type of grief for what he's done in comics. I can't say anything. Yeah, I guess I can, but I'm not. Again, man, all the respect in the world. And you got a Ron Lim and some others. And Destro also had some nice covers too. All right, guys, that's it from me. Wasn't much major in this. Just basically touching base with everybody, letting everybody know I'm still here, still buying a little bit, but I'm being real picky in a way what I'm trying to buy. And on that note, you guys, y'all be well, take care. I will catch you on the next video. Goodbye.